Hey, thanks for joining me, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coffee and Nuance Show. I am your host, Tom Coffee. That's right, we're streaming live every day, Monday to Friday, on YouTube and on Rumble, rumble.com/Coffee and Nuance/live. Link in the description if you haven't signed up there yet. Please sign up. We're growing over there on one of these platforms. Anyway, today, what are we talking about? Oh, we're diving into the murky waters of sports washing. Okay? Where the world of athletics becomes a giant laundering machine for authoritarian regimes. It's like a juice cleanse, but instead of cleansing your insides, it's cleansing their image. Now let's talk about the recent merger between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf, backed by none other than Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you heard right. The land of oil, camels, and human rights abuses is now making a bid for the soul of golf. I mean, they can buy Newcastle United. That's a soccer team. Why not try their hand at the gentleman's game? But let's not fool ourselves, folks. This is more like an investment in sports. It's a high-stakes game of scrubbing away a tarnished reputation. Saudi Arabia wants us to forget about their human rights record, their involvement in terrorism, their cozy relationship with a bone saw. And they think pouring billions of dollars into golf will do the trick. It's like trying to fix a leaky pipe with glitter glue. Sure, it may look pretty and distract you for a moment, but the problem is still there. Let's not forget about all the players caught up in the middle of this. Many were blindsided by the news, finding out through Twitter that now they're part of a merger they said they'd never do. And guess they were caught between a rock and a petrochemical plant. Bump. Dad jokes, folks. But hey, let's give credit where credit's due. Donald Trump and Phil Mickelson, they're thrilled about this deal. I mean, who better to endorse a Saudi-backed venture than a former president who couldn't resist holding a glowing orb with them? Or Mickelson, who once called the Saudis scary mother... Yeah, seems to have done a complete 180. I guess money can wash away fear along with your principles. Now, the Saudis are claiming this merger is part of their 2030 plan, Vision 2030. To promote sports and open up the country. Yeah, because when I think of Saudi Arabia, I think of a sports-loving paradise. Let's forget about the fact that women only recently gained the right to drive, let alone swing a golf club. In the end, this merger is nothing more than a brazen attempt to whitewash a troubled past. Saudi Arabia wants us to think about birdies and bogeys instead of human rights abuses, and Khashoggi. But we can't let them off the hook easily. We need to keep our eyes on the ball, not let them score a hole-in-one on the world stage. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live. Right now, flame on. Yeah. PGA Tour and the Saudi-backed LIV Golf have agreed to merge, ending a 2-year battle for control of golf. The merger involves the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, PIF, investing billions of dollars into this new venture. While hailed as a victory for golf by the parties involved, critics argue this is a form of sports washing and gives Saudi Arabia undue influence in global sports. The deal also brings to an end legal disputes between the two tours. The Saudis see the merger as part of their effort to promote sports and open up the country. However, skeptics view this as a power play to improve Saudi Arabia's international image. The long-term implication of this merger And the inclusion of LIV players in the U.S. Ryder Cup team remains uncertain. So, talking about this this merger is really a great example of sports washing. Now, sports washing is just, a portmanteau of sports and whitewashing, putting them together. And it is a way for countries that may have some shady things going on to improve their image. Now, Saudi Arabia has been doing this through their big fund, the Sovereign Wealth Fund. I've talked about in the past how they have made a deal with WWE, which is the big pro wrestling company in the U.S., and so they've been having for, 5 years now or something, big matches, big pay-per-view matches over there in Saudi Arabia twice a year. I think it was like a $10 billion deal. So, of course, for that kind of money, right? Any company would jump at the opportunity to sell out. And now it looks like they've used their money to merge with the PGA. That's the big pro golf tour. That's the pro golf tour. And now, essentially, they're in charge. But that's the idea behind sports washing is, see, most people aren't into politics. Most people don't follow politics at all. Most people like sports. That's what most people are into, that kind of entertainment. And so if you have an authoritarian regime and you want people to think good things about it, then what you can do is you can buy your way in other areas that maybe those people aren't really closely following politics. So you can get them on their side immediately, right? So that's what Saudi Arabia is doing with sports. They're buying different sports teams. They've started their own little soccer league where they're buying the best soccer players in the world to come play there. And now with the PGA Tour, I got to tell you, I'm shocked. I thought that this is what they were trying to do, but I didn't think it would ever happen. And wow, can all be wrong. I guess everyone does have a price. And now professional golf is bought. They're totally bought by this authoritarian regime. And, I guess they have the right to. They have the right. They got all the money. They have the right to buy off this league. But what they're doing is they're trying to buy goodwill. They're trying to get the people that are not really following politics, that don't know a whole lot about Saudi Arabia, and to introduce them as the benevolent owners of these sports leagues. So that's what's going on. That's the big idea. Sports washing. And I do think we're going to see more of this in the future, because people are always trying to clean their reputation, and that's a pretty good way to clean reputation. So, yeah. We got a number of stories to get to today. Tucker's back, along with some other kind of frightening news that I want to get to. And lastly, I'll end it up with some good news. And as it's the month of June, it's Pride Month, I said that June, all of my stories will be based in the U.S. So I have some medical news about the U.S., and it may affect you. So stick around for that. And if you like what I do, let me know by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribe, all that crap. I appreciate it. They say it makes a difference. I don't think it does. I honestly don't think it does. This channel's dying on the YouTube, and it's growing on Rumble. So it is what it is. But thanks for hitting that like button. And next up, let's get to Tucker. Yeah. Interesting. Hey, did you hear about Tucker Carlson? He's launched his new show on Twitter. Yeah, apparently he's bringing his unique brand of television to the land of hashtags and selfies. It's like watching the evolution of media in reverse. I mean, who needs a high production value and a fancy studio when you can have Tucker broadcasting from what looks to be a cozy wooden cabin? It's the MTV Unplugged version of political commentary. Yeah, so this is the news. I was surprised with this yesterday as well. Tucker Carlson, former Fox News host, launched his new show on Twitter, where he discussed such topics as the Russian invasion of Ukraine, UFOs, JFK assassination, 9/11. Despite being a low-tech 10-minute video posted on Twitter, the show garnered 27 million views in just over 4 hours. Yeah. Wow. While Carlson's topics were familiar from his previous show on Fox News, his Twitter viewership surpassed his former network's ratings. Carlson, who's still under contract with Fox News till January of 2025, has hired a lawyer to negotiate his exit from the company. Known for his controversial views, Carlson claimed that Twitter is one of the few platforms that allows free speech. So I do see a good trend over there on Twitter that they are allowing more speech. They have changed a couple things over there. I thought maybe today I would go live on Twitter, and apparently I don't know how to do that anymore. All my links are dead. I can't figure out how to go live over there. It doesn't really matter because no one was watching me live, but I thought, well, what the heck? We'll go live on Twitter. Didn't work. I have to figure that out. But this was a great monologue that he did on Twitter. I encourage you to check it out. I wish that Twitter would allow people to view Twitter without having to log in. I think that is kind of a hassle. Every time I go to a different computer, it always wants me to log in. I just want to look up something real quick. I don't want to have to log in every time to look at something. So that's a bit of a hassle with Twitter. Perhaps they'll change that in the future. But if you haven't seen it, he does an excellent job of explaining the latest kerfuffle in the Ukraine-Russia conflict with the blowing up of the dam and who may be responsible for it. I think he makes a lot of good points, and I encourage you to check that out for yourself. So who knows how often he will be doing this? Will he be doing this show every day? We don't know. We'll just have to see. Once a week? Twice a week? I don't know. What do you think? Just for fun, just for your own amusement. How many days a week do you think Tucker's going to do his show? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, we'll have to find out. I don't know that he's going to do it every day. I'm going to guess right now twice a week. That's my guess. But it's a guess. And guesses can be wrong. And it's okay if I'm wrong. And it's okay if you're wrong. Who cares? But let me know your guess in the comment. And next up, let's get to some frightening news about the young kids today. You know, folks, they say the youth are the future. Well, with Gen Z's love of surveillance, feels more like the big brother we never asked for. Hey, kids, put down your phones. The government is already following you. Hashtag millennial problems. So this is a survey by the Cato Institute, so take it for what it is. reveals that nearly a third of Gen Z supports installing surveillance cameras in every household. The support for such surveillance is higher among liberals and centrists compared to conservatives. There's also racial and ethnic disparities with higher support among Black Americans and Hispanics. The article raises concerns about the erosion of privacy and civil liberties, linking it to an Orwellian sense of emergency and censorship. Anyway, this gives a lot of potential risks, including central bank digital currency, enabling government surveillance, and controlling everybody's finances. This is really crazy to hear that this is the thing that Gen Z is into. They're cool with the government having cameras inside your house. What is wrong with you kids? And I find it, I guess, interesting, and I won't make a comment on it, but African Americans are really into having cameras, young Gen Z, in their house, connected to the government. I don't even know if I can believe this. This just sounds insane to me. It is from the Cato Institute. There might be alternative reasons that they are putting out this survey, and I question the legitimacy of it, but it could be correct. It could be. We'll just have to see if there's more news on that, but that is just shocking to me. I don't want any cameras inside my house. I do have some security cameras. They're all outside the house. And any that I have inside the house, they're in rooms that, my dog can't go into and set them off. So, yeah, maybe I have one in the laundry room. So if anyone goes in the laundry room while I'm not in my house, I can be alerted to that fact. But, it's not connected to the government, right? And you can rest assured that any camera that you have that is connected to the internet, the government has access to. You don't want that in your house. I can't imagine wanting that in their house. But then again, I was at my sister's house, and she's had all these dumb Alexa things, these throughout her house. I can't stand it. I think, you walk in there and you go, oh, okay, they're listening to everything we're saying here. Why don't you look up the recent lawsuits that Amazon had to settle about the Ring camera and how they were giving employees in Ukraine unfettered access to everyone's indoor cameras. Yeah, they just settled that for $30 million or something like that. Who the hell wants cameras in their house? Well, I'm shocked by this. But like I say, I'm over at my sister's house, and she's got all these dumb surveillance things all everywhere. She's got them all over her house, and her kids are cool with it. So they're being brought up that surveillance is a good thing. I guess I understand. But it's still shocking to me. What do you think about this? Are you one of these people, you got cameras in your house and you want the direct line to the government to have it? I mean, I know the government has a direct line to my phone already. But we don't need to give them a live view. That's just crazy. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. And I got something similar to this. Yeah. Did you hear? The TSA is rolling out facial recognition technology at airports. Now, not only do you have to worry about losing your luggage, but you also get to play Spot the Difference with your own face. It's like a high-stakes game of Guess Who, where the TSA officer lets the machines decide if you're the real deal or a really good imposter. So, yeah, the TSA, Transportation Security Administration, you know them, you've been to the airport. They're expanding their facial recognition program at 25 airports in the U.S. and Puerto Rico. The program uses digital identification technology to compare a person's face with the picture on their ID, aiming to improve security and efficiency at the airport checkpoints. That's what they say. The TSA claims that facial recognition is more accurate than human identification, with accuracy levels close to 100%. I'm sure it's just as safe and effective as something else we've had recently that also claimed to be near 100%. Yeah, the program currently is voluntary for passengers, and it's faced criticism from privacy advocates and 5 U.S. senators who demand its halt due to concerns about biometric security, potential inaccuracies. While the images are deleted after their use, some encrypted information is retained for up to 24 months for ongoing review and evaluation. TSA plans to implement this technology in at least 3 more airports by the end of the year. So we're just going to have to trust them, folks. Facial recognition, it does better than the well-qualified TSA agents that are checking your stuff. So we need to give it all to the machines. And they do say that it's voluntary, but that's kind of like when you go to the supermarket and you can go to a checker or you can go to the self-checkout. And they say, well, the self-checkout is voluntary, but we have one checker for the entire grocery store or this area where you can go check yourself out by yourself. And there's a huge line so you can wait for 15 minutes to go through the regular checkout, or you can just go over to the self-checkout machine. Oh, you can wait in this big long line to not do the facial recognition, or you can just step over here and get it done quickly. It's voluntary, but is it? Is it really? I mean, at some point, you just say, I'm not standing in this line anymore. Screw it. That's how they get you. That's how they get you on these things. So anyway, be on the lookout for more facial recognition. It's coming to everything. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. But, yeah. Let's get some good news. Hey, did you hear the good news? Researchers found a potential treatment for tinnitus by combining audio and other sensations. It's like a spa day for your ears. Who knew that a warm forehead and a symphony of ringing could be the next wellness trend? So this is a recent trial. It focuses on understanding how the brain processes bisensory information to treat tinnitus. We've also heard that as tinnitus. I always heard it as tinnitus my whole life. But recent years I've heard it tinnitus. So perhaps that's the right way to say it. It's a condition that affects approximately 15% of adults in the U.S., myself included. The trial involves 99 patients who received a portable device for at-home use. The device combines the participants' personal tinnitus spectrum with electrical stimulation, forming a bisensory stimulus. The study found that participants consistently reported improved quality of life and significant reductions in tinnitus loudness and receiving the bisensory treatment, as opposed to sound-only stimulation. Over 60% of participants experienced reduced tinnitus symptoms after 6 weeks of active treatment. That's pretty good, 60%. This research opens the door for personalized bisensory stimulation as a potential effect effective treatment for tinnitus, offering hope to millions of sufferers. So the way that this works is there's different types of tinnitus, okay? And the one that this works for, let me see what that's called again. What is that called? Somatic tinnitus. And that's characterized, if you have it, if you bite your teeth or flex your forehead, you can change the pitch of the ringing in your ear. So if you're able to change the pitch of the ringing in your ear, then you have somatic tinnitus, and that's what this works well on. It does not work well unless those conditions are met. So if I flex kind of like that, I can tell the tinnitus in my ears, it does change the frequency. So I can get it to be a little bit higher pitched when I just make a scrunchy face. So that's somatic tinnitus. And supposedly this works with it. What it does is it may give a little shock, a little touch at the same time, and you use the machine to determine where on the audio spectrum is the sound that you're hearing, and then it will work to counteract that. That's my basic understanding of how this works. And I think this is really a great deal. I suffer from this, and I'm going to look into this myself. I walk around often all day with headphones just to block it out. And I have noise-reducing headphones. Really expensive noise-reducing headphones that I put on that I have running, even if I'm not listening to anything, trying to block out some of those frequencies. And so perhaps this could be something that would be helpful to me, and perhaps it might be helpful to you. So I'm going to look into this. I'll have more on this in the future, but I do think that that's good news, and it's good news. And they developed this at Michigan's medicine department of otolaryngology. It's a word I can't even pronounce. Otolaryngology. Something like that. Anyway, they're in Michigan. This is where they developed this. So hopefully this will be good news for everyone else. That's the good news that we have today. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments. I appreciate you hitting the like button, sharing this video with someone else. That's the only way that this channel can grow, because certain algorithms just like to hide my channel. You know, that's just how it is. So I count on you for my marketing. So I appreciate that very much. Stick around for the after show, and I will be back mañana with more stuff. Peace. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking in. First, over on the YouTube, we got Miranda saying hi. She's going to listen in the chat. Nice. Natasha saying hi, bye, all that good stuff. Like your shirt, Tom. I have a dress made out of a similar material. Well, I don't know how you can tell what this is made of, but I guess it might be a similar print. I like this shirt. I think it's a good color. Tucker ought to wear Hawaiian shirts instead of a suit and tie. That would be cool if he would do that. I know certain people have started wearing the Aloha shirt, and I welcome it, because I think every day is a holiday. Because I look at this as like, if I were to name it, I would name it like Vacation Core, right? Middle-aged dudes on vacation. That's my look. Someone needs to utilize pickleball in their sports washing endeavors. Well, that's a good suggestion, Natasha. It probably wouldn't cost that much to buy like the World Pickleball League. That you could probably buy that for $500,000, probably. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's happening. Kids are so used to taking selfies and making TikTok videos, they feel quite comfortable with the camera watching them. I don't understand. I do not understand that at all. You'd be surprised how many TSA agents will let you through on someone else's ID as long as you're also presenting that person's boarding pass. I had 2 blonde women test me. Well, it sounds like you are an expert in this, Natasha. And so at one point, I'm going to, if you happen to be working at an airport that has this new technology, you're going to have to tell me about it and tell me how it works. Natasha says, damn, I don't have the right kind of tinnitus. Mine doesn't bother me until I'm trying to go to sleep. It seems worse when I'm stressed. A lot of things are worse when you're stressed. That is totally true. The stress affects us so much in ways that we couldn't even imagine. I'll just give you one example, and this is just a weird one. I have something called anoscoria, where my pupils kind of operate independently, whereas most pupils, you know, they work in series. So if you shine a light in one, they'll both get small. But mine don't. They're independent. And that's normal. I think 1 out of 200 people have that condition. But when I get really stressed, sometimes one pupil will be a lot different size than the other. One will get really big and one is small. And it's really off-putting for some people. You know, the thing is, I don't think they recognize what's happening, but they're like, there's something odd about that guy. You know, it's, you know, kind of like David Bowie, how he had like a different colored eyes because he had like an accident. But when I get stressed, my pupils will be different sizes, and it makes people nervous. It looks like I'm on drugs or something. It's really weird. So yeah, stress does affect us in so many different ways, in ways you probably couldn't even imagine. Over on Rumble, we got lots of chat going on today. Konnichiwa, what's the big idea? Well, the big idea today was sports washing, and I wanted to introduce you to that concept, and I think you'll be seeing more and more of this. But it is a way to kind of launder a bad reputation into a better reputation. Let's see. Hey, Tom, what's up? Look at the Moon says, oh, for heaven's sakes, why can't Rumble work smoothly for me? Yeah, sometimes things don't work smoothly. We're still working through that, but it seems to be getting better. They were caught between a pebble beach and a hard place. I like that. That's probably, you know, that's an equally good little dad joke than what I did in my monologue. I could be persuaded for that amount. I could too. You know, let's not kid ourselves. I could, you know, I probably shouldn't say it like, but could I be persuaded by the Saudi kingdom to say nice things about them if they were paying me 6 figures? Maybe. Maybe. I don't have to worry about that, though, because it's not going to happen. Gonzo the Good is checking in and hit me up with a big tip. Glad I could catch you live today. Well, thank you, Gonzo the Good. You are Gonzo the Great. I appreciate that much. Wow, people sure miss Tucker. I did. I never watched Tucker on Fox, says Duggo, but created a Twitter account just to check out his show there. Worth it. Very cool. Yeah, I do think, and you know, his monologues, you know, it's only like 10 minutes, so I think it's very, very good, chocked full of goodness in a small amount of time. I can't believe that poll. How did they phrase the question to these kids? I don't know. I didn't look into the poll. And again, it was from the Cato Institute. So you really got to take it with a grain of salt. But I thought it was an interesting story, jumping off point. Prison cells have cameras too. They do. They seem to accidentally turn off when certain things happen. That's the trend, isn't it? Right? Life is going to be like the movie Minority Report before too long. It kind of feels like it already is. TSA needs to be the first lined up against the wall unless security theater that only inconveniences and infringes on the rights of citizens. I see the people out there that are working, watching things go through. I've taken things through that I was not questioned about, that in hindsight, I probably should have been. And, we see that a lot. I think it's a lot more for show than it is actually doing any good. Big Daddy says, I live in a country setting. I don't need cameras. I have 9 dogs and about as many guns. Well, that's good. I got a dog too. She lets me know anytime a raccoon is near the house, typically about 3 in the morning. She'll wake me up and let me know that we have a visitor. So I'm with you there. My ears ring from working on welding jobs for 28 years. Yeah, a lot of people, especially men that have worked in heavy industry, have tinnitus, and it's terrible. Would this be equal to noise canceling? That's clever. I don't think that this is... So I think the way that it works is it's kind of how you can silence certain frequencies. So they're not actually getting rid of that. What they're doing is they're calculating the waveform, the sound wave that is affecting you, and they're making the reverse of that. So they're actually putting out more sound, but you're just not aware that it's there. So it's not, you're still hearing the sound, but you're just not aware that you're hearing the sound, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's similar to the noise canceling, and you can tune it to the specific frequency that you're doing that, and they're pairing it with some kind of stimulation, a little shock or something. And I think by doing that, it distracts you enough that you're not able to hear the ringing. So I think that's basically my understanding of it from reading the article. Natasha and Miranda need to come to Rumble and join the dark side. Lizard people have the same eye condition, Tom. I've heard that. Rev68 says, missed the show live, but wanted to stop by and say hello. Well, hello, Rev68. Thanks for stopping by. And Natasha's backing me up. She's saying that I don't think Tom is a lizard person. Come on. Come on. So, but if I were, I wouldn't tell you. I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a beautiful day. I will be back tomorrow with more stuff. We can keep trying stuff on Rumble. And I did put in a message to the tech support there about how to use the custom emotes on my phone. I haven't heard anything back, but they're usually pretty good. So hopefully I'll have some news on that for you tomorrow as well. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Peace.